Hey folks, something that's taken me several years to understand and to sink in is that failure is not necessarily a bad thing. Failure can be feedback. So when we are afraid of failure and we try to avoid failure, we tend to stay in our comfort zone, right? It's a familiar space, and that's not where growth happens. But when you move out of your comfort zone and you're willing to take chances, uh, you're going to raise the risk or the likelihood of that whatever you might be doing, whether it's a business idea, whether it's a new diet plan, a new fitness plan, job, a project at work, whatever that may be, that when you take chances and you take risks, that the increased probability of failure is a little higher. I think that we all experience that. So, what is our tolerance for failure? I think that's a big question. I think if we change our mindset and say that failure is actually feedback. When something doesn't go as planned, you can use that as feedback on how do I improve. So, for example, if you're a competitive shooter and you're doing something related to firearms and you're not hitting on target consistently, well, you're going to take that information, you're going to process it, and the next step is to figure out, well, what might be the diagnosis of why I'm not hitting my target under that scenario or under that circumstance. And so that's information that you can now use to course correct yourself and then do better. And so rather than shy away from failure or shy away from pushing the limits and pushing the boundaries of what you can do, we should probably be looking for those opportunities. And then that will actually help you to then understand what the diagnosis is and understand the plan to move forward. Right now, a problem might come into play is when you're going through this process and you're constantly failing and you're trying it over and over again. If you're not using information to your advantage, if you're not really sitting down to analyze and assess what could be causing me to have this repetitive failure, um, you're really not learning. You're basically just going through the same motions over and over again. And so sometimes you might be stuck in that loop. And that's where a good coach can help you. Maybe see something from a perspective that you're not thinking about and maybe bring you out of that loop into a different path so you can actually take that information and use it to your advantage. Curious about what all of your thoughts are. Are there situations where you try to shy away from failure and not try new things because you're afraid of it? Or do you embrace it and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to use any information that comes out of failing through a process or failing through a new task or a new project or a new program and use it to my advantage to see how I can continue to improve. Let me know. Let me know in the comments.